Hey, it's MK, and I am back with another 31 days of cut file fun layout for you guys today. And I am going to be using these stickers here that are the Grove stickers. I really love this green on here. I stole my I stole my title from the 49 and Market Hike More collection. I have my favoriteest twine in the whole wide world. I have these rub-on transfers from 49 and Market, the Hike More collection. I have this uber old scrapbooking paper kit. They're 8.5 by 11.5. I picked it off the give take table at one of the crops that I went to, but I loved this corrugated piece in the background and then all the different kinds of greens. They're just different textures and stuff. So I wanted to try to throw those on a layout and actually have a purpose of why I picked them up and brought them into my stash. I have 3 photos to play with today. And then I also have my hiking boot. I love this cut file from Pear Tree. Absolutely love it. And then from 13 Arts, I have this beautiful tree line piece of paper. It's from the Dreamland collection. 13 Arts only comes in paper packs or collections rather than individual papers. I have not been able to find them here in the States. These were actually gifted to me from overseas. So somebody thought that they were my style and sent them to me. So thank you very much. I also have some craft cardstock that is just from a Halloween stack and a cream paper from Close to My Heart. I think it's called French Vanilla. And then from Simple Stories, I've got Simple Vintage Great Escape and this sticker sheet that I don't know if I even use. I don't remember now. Yep, let's go find out. So right now I'm going to go and I'm going to cut apart this paper because I really want that tree line to be popped up. All right, so there it is. I cut it apart and I'm going to actually back it all onto this craft cardstock. I really wanted a brown that was seen through, but when I put the papers together, I realized that I wanted a little bit of more texture, so I thought I would scuff up the edges with my distress tool, but most of the time I ended up using my fingers because it was just such a tiny area. And then I realized I didn't like the brown. It didn't match what I already had in the papers. So now I'm going to be using this beautiful, almost like a gold green. So it's green on one side and then they have like a gold on the other. And I debated about putting a gap so that way there was a green tree line, and then I didn't like how that looked. So the background of this layout takes quite a while. So, but I'm just trying to figure out whether or not I wanted the trees to be straight on. Did I want to cut off that white strip down at the bottom? What did I want to do? So, like I always say, when I don't know what to do, I'm going to move on to what I know I want to do. And I knew I wanted to use these collage rub-ons from 49 and Market and decorate the background where between the tree line and where my photos are going to go. I just wanted to add a little bit more interest, a little bit more grunge to my layout. And these rub-ons from 49 and Market make it so easy. You don't have to have the splatters. You don't have to have the ink and stamps. You don't have to have any of that stuff. Just 1 or 2 of these little rub-ons and bam, the job has been done for you. It is awesome. All right, I'm just deciding which one I want to have on the left. I will make that decision later, but right now I have decided, I made the decision. I'm going to cut out these mushrooms and put those mushrooms on the left side. Yep. And then I'm going to take these, they're dictionary words in green and cream, and I'm going to put them along the bottom of my white space, of my tree line. However, when I first start, the first one that I put on there is cattywampus, because that's what I thought I was going to do, is just have them all different ways and layered on top of each other and all that good stuff. But then somewhere in my brain, my OCD kicked in and thought, no, you can't have that. So the rest of them are going to be perfectly straight going across the bottom. I left this part in because a lot of people, I know that watching my hand rub really fast is intoxicating. I apologize about that. But I left this part in because a lot of people don't see how I get from one place to another. And so there's certain times when I like to leave the process in, because to me it seems plain and simple, and you just layer rub-ons. But to others, it just is, you started off here and then bam, you finished over here, and they don't see the middle piece. So I thought I would leave this in for those that are interested in how I cover it up. I'm just picking words that pertain to my photo, like explore and discover, and I think there's a word called next in there. Adventure, I think, was in there, things like that. Just trying to pick out words that go with, the photos that my husband has sent me. So these are his, he went with a friend to go and go hunting, and he loves bringing in the photos for me. So this one here just said, take a hike or something like that, or a hiking adventure or something like that. And I wanted to put it in the brown so that way it didn't take away from anything else. Truth be told, I forgot about it because I wanted to keep moving on, and I didn't know where I was going to put my hiking boot just yet. So I put it off to the side and then totally spaced that I even was going to do that. So never meant to be. All right, so this is one of those weird handmade papers, and it's almost like it's grass. It is just the weirdest stuff. And off camera, I ripped one side. I think I actually ripped two sides just to see if it was rippable. But I also wanted to see if I had enough of this paper to do all three photos. And my brain, it wanted to go all the way across, because that just made sense to me. And then I realized I could put two on the side and then have another one horizontal to get what I needed. All right, so I am just roughly ripping the fibers out. There really is no rhyme or reason. I was okay if it didn't cover the whole thing up. Just seriously, I just went with it. And then when I got to this part, I realized I really can't rip it because there's just not enough for me to get my fingers held onto. And so I just used my fingernails to scuff it up and make it look like it was ripped. Okay, and then the last photo, I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm okay if it doesn't go all the way around. I'm okay if it's a lime green compared to the rest. I felt like everything just blended together because of all the different greens that I'm using, from the rub-ons to the tree line to the photo mats. I mean, just green is green is green, and I love green, you guys. And I think the reason is, and I've said this millions of times, is because I live in a desert, and so we don't have a whole lot of green unless it was man planted. And lots of water. So when we go through our drought season, thank goodness this isn't one of them, when we go through our drought season, you could definitely tell that the trees are lacking the water because it's not natural here. So anywho, I'm going to go ahead, because of all the fibers that are in here, I'm using this tear and tape. I use tear and tape for elements like this. I use tear and tape when I want a good, strong, bold hold that my double-sided tape just isn't meant for, right? I'm also popping up my picture of my husband because he is the focal point of this. He's standing on the valley, and he turned to one side and took a picture of one side of the valley, and then he turned around and took a picture of the other side of the valley. And so I just think it's great to have him in the center and the focus of both sides of the valley that he was taking pictures of. And of course, he's thinking, I hope we don't shoot anything that is down in that valley and we have to haul it back up. I apologize for those that aren't hunters. I really, really am. I definitely respect that. It is definitely personal choice whether you want to hunt or not. So I apologize if me talking about it is awful for you. So I will stop talking about it and move on. Yay, we finally got to the cut file. Oh my gosh. So what I had envisioned on this cut file is a dirty boot. Now I know that I did a dirty boot on a wood grain earlier in the season or earlier in the series. But for this one, I really, really, really wanted that dirty boot and to give this a tread. And so because the hike is that tread, I'm going to go ahead and make the word hike into the dirty portion, the tread that got dirty, right? And then I'm going to do the rest of it in this bronze chameleon, or no, this isn't the chameleon wax. This is the gilding wax. The gilding wax is shiny and not sparkly, but shiny and metallic is the word I'm looking for. And so anyways, with the gilding wax, you just rub it on just like a rub and buff type of deal. It is fantabulous, you guys. It even has that metallic smell to it, like you're actually putting metal on your paper. If you don't like the smell, I get that. Please do it outside in a nice ventilated area. The smell actually doesn't bother me all that much, and so I just do it right here in my craft room. Plus, I like to show you guys how amazing this stuff really is. I love using the gilding wax. So anyways, I went ahead and I backed the entire boot so that way it had that khaki feel when you buy a boot from the sports shop. And then I'm going to take some foam to pop up my letters to get that depth of the tread. Now, I did have a little arrow. I don't know where it went. I must have lost it. I must have not put it in my baggie. I'm not really sure. But I did have that little arrow in the bags when I sent it out to those that purchased the kit. However, I lost my arrow. So I just went with it and thought, you know what? The word hike does enough for me. It gives me that effect that I was looking for. And not only did I back my cut file, but I also inserted my cut file. And there is my 3-dimensional boot. I absolutely love this. I love the fact that it looks like it now has a tread on it. I would love to go and take this boot and put it in the dirt and get that word hike in there. I'm such a goofball. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and weave it in and out of the trees because I didn't want to cover up all of the trees. And then I'm going to add the word more. So my title is going to be Hike More. We absolutely love hiking and whatnot. We have not been able to do that this year just because of it's so weird. The kids' sports are like all summer long, and it's frustrating to the adults because it's like, well, we want to go, camping, and you're going to miss the practice. And oh my gosh, it's just been a struggle for the adults because we're used to our kids not being so busy and having lives of their own. So we're crying about it and being big babies. But we're moving on. And we've adapted and adjusted. So I'm going to finish off the title, just the hike the word, adding the word more to hike. I took a Q and turned it upside down. That's the way that I use or get extra O's, but that's the way that I've been using up my Q's. And then I took my rub-ons and added them to another piece, that French vanilla cardstock. I rubbed them on and fussy cut them out, and that is where all of these leaves came from, was from that one rub-on sheet. Now, I didn't end up doing all of them, only the leaves that kind of pertained to what I had in the area. Not really, but it makes sense to me. And so I'm just going to have a little cluster over on the left photo and then add some leaves and things around the boot to make it look like, you're tromping through something, right? I can't say a forest because we really don't have forests here, but we've got, we've got trees and greenery and whatnot to tromp around through. And I just love this, you guys. I love how it looks. I love the effect that I got from the boot. And I don't know. I really am unhappy with how it turned out. Thank you. I'm sorry. I always feel guilty saying how happy I am with how things turned out. But this is my layout. Thank you so very much for hanging out with me today and tromping through this very long process. I don't know why it took so long when it doesn't look like I did very much. But anyways, if you guys are interested in checking out all the days and just finding out one spot to find all the content, check out the Facebook group that was created for this year. We should have done it last year, but that's okay. It was a learning field, and this time it just feels so much more organized. All the content in one spot is fabulous. I absolutely love it. The link for the Facebook group is down below. If you are curious on just watching the videos and seeing who else is making videos with this, check out the playlist down below because that is also awesome. I am loving the addition of all the other content creators. Adding to this playlist is just, it makes my heart happy. I love all the albums within the Facebook group. That is also just fabulous, you guys. I love seeing everybody playing along. And then we also have a random album in the Facebook group. And I love seeing all the ones from last year popping up. That just made me giggle and oh, so happy, you guys. It is just awesome. Anyways, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I really, truly appreciate it. And I will check y'all later. Bye.